The only thing is you'll notice sometimes, since it is a real animal, and they don't always do what the fuck you want them to do, you'll see a scene where, like, the lizard's, like, walking sideways, and you only see the front half of it, and the leg will stop, and it'll keep going, so you'll see the leg getting pushed through the sand. So somebody's kind of, pushing this lizard, which is kind of mean, harassing the lizard. I'm not going to get into the whole, picking on animals thing. I'm not like a PETA dude, like, no, you gotta, you can't do that. But, I believe that to some certain extent you can do things. But I'm not getting into that. It's not what this shit's about. It's about fucking monster movies, alright? Anyway. Other than that, there's maybe like a blue screen effect, or green, or purple, or fucking magenta screen effect. I don't know, it's in black and white, I can't tell. So there's some screen effect, I think, I'm pretty sure there's a couple in the movie, but practically there's nothing. There's a couple at the very end scene, but there's pretty much none, none really to speak of. It's nothing. It doesn't really drag the film down, but it's not like I can't be like, oh god, they're so fucking shitty, these effects are just terrible. But dude, there's like none in the film, so I can't be like down the entire movie for it. So effects, whatever, they're there, again, they do their job. A couple of closing comments. This film was actually released by a studio in Texas. It was a small film. The guy that did this did The Killer Shrews. I've never personally seen it, but I've not heard the best of it. I'm going to get around to it soon enough, I'm sure. And it was, usually when they're released by small studios like that, they're released, state or regionally, locally or regionally. But this one was released nationwide, which is probably why it's so available. One of the reasons why it's so available. Because the movie's free domain. You just fucking have it. But, that's probably one of the reasons why it's like that. Again, it's a really small studio. All the actors are pretty much unknown. I didn't really notice any, unless you people did. I didn't see any that are like, oh, I know them from all these other movies. No. They're unknowns. Low budget. You just got to get who you can get. Like, again, the characters do the job. But, that was just something a little extra I wanted to add. It was filmed, this movie was created with The Killer Shrews to be a double feature. Like, right from the get-go. It wasn't, like, supposed to be a separate movie and then they were put together. That's just how it was. There's actually, another thing I'd like to mention. My version is not the best version. There's a better version, I imagine. It was released as a double pack with The Killer Shrews, and I believe both films were put in color, which would be cool. I imagine the film quality's better. Maybe I'll get it later on down the road. But since it's public domain, I'm sure Killer Shrews is public domain. You don't have to pay for it if you don't want. But I own all my movies, so whatever. Now for closing, I'm not the biggest fan of the film. It's not bad. It's not one that I'm like, turn off right in the middle of like, fuck this shit. We'll put in Godzilla, like Awesome Fest. I don't know, whatever. But it's not a film that I would stop in the middle of. It's got its points. It's really cool. It got its slow period, which they can be kind of brutal in movies like this sometimes, but not really this one in particular. I would say generally for people, fans, non-fans alike, check it out if you want to. Again, it's public domain. It's fucking free. You can watch it. Like I said, I could put the whole damn thing on here if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. But, watch it if you want to. You might get a laugh out of it. It's not super laughable. It's got its moments, again, where like acting is just really freaking weird. That's not usually from the main characters. If you like Hot Rods, you might like the film. I'm a big car guy, so you see the dudes drive, like the main character drives like, I don't know exactly what model it is, model, make, year. I really don't. I'm not good at those older 30s, 40s cars. But, it's got an old Flathead 8, and a Ford Flathead 8. I'm like, woo, Flathead 8, drives by, hear the V8 sounds, like, yeah, that's just how I am. If you're a car person, maybe you'll understand. If not, you'll just think it's weird.
Come on, Harris. Did you see it? No, I didn't see it, but I sure heard about it. Can I open this thing up? Yeah, go ahead.
But, I mean, check it out again if you want to. I would just give it a strong 2. It's worth a strong 2. I mean, this is a cult classic status. Not just because of that it's getting it, because it's not a bad film. Like I said, I could watch it. I've seen things considerably worse than this that I can still watch. It's decently enjoyable. You know, it's at least worth a high too. I mean, it's got some moments, but whatever. A couple things else I'd like to mention, since this is essentially done with the review. After this one is the god-awful Gamera movie that I have to review, and that review is probably going to be horrible again, so let me give you a heads up. And then after that is, you know, reviewer request. I imagine I'll do one, or whatever I feel like. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But after that will be the beginning of the Heisei or Heisei, or however you say it. I'm not the best at pronouncing Japanese. It'll be the beginning of the Heisei series of Gamera when they got considerably better, I think. But that'll be what's after that, and I haven't ordered, but I haven't gotten it yet. So if I don't get it, I'll let you guys know. So there might be a week's delay. But right now, as it stands, it's scheduled to be it'll be up in 3 weeks. The first DVD of the series will be up in the first review of the second Gamera series will be up in 3 weeks. Some people might say, like, well, why? I mean, well, I have it on VHS and I don't have a tape player anymore. And I buy everything. That's why I haven't got around to viewer requests. I buy all my movies because I like owning stuff. I like physically having stuff. I buy all my movies so you people will buy your movies. So I don't spoil endings. I want you people to buy these movies because it makes money and we get better releases of films, or we get more releases of films because of it. I don't ever encourage pirating or any of that shit. Unless it's public domain, because it's fucking public domain. You can watch it wherever. You can buy it if you want, and I would buy public domain movies as long as the quality was good. But I'm not saying pirate. I would never fucking pirate films. I don't have any films I've pirated, any movie I've reviewed so far. I've never pirated, and I've owned every single fucking movie I review. All of them. So, again, that's why I'm doing this, to get you people to buy these, or at least watch them and enjoy them. So, I just want to give you guys that update. Also, for the monster name, I'm going to stop taking suggestions Sunday at midnight. It's kind of weird, but since this will give you a bit of time to get at least a name or two in, if you wanted more suggestions, you could have multiple suggestions per person. Just don't overload me with them. I've got some now with good suggestions. I just want to put a certain cutoff point, and then me and Steph can collaborate and figure out which name we want to use, and then we'll announce the name and go from there in the next upcoming releases. I don't know however long it takes us to decide. So I think that's it for this video. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. So again, we'll wrap this up, and you all take care, and we'll see you around.